Jeff Griffin.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Consideration and action of consent agenda.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Trace Connor,
Yes.
Amy Foreman,
Yes.
John Kramer,
Yes.
Larry Church,
Yes.
Corey Crabtree,
Yes.
Jeff Griffin.
Yes.
Motion passes.
With no items removed from the consent agenda and no appearances or petitions from the audience, I would move for an adjournment.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign. We'll now move on to the regular meeting of the Seminole Gas Authority. Roll call, please.
Larry Church,
Here.
Tim Poplin, Corey Crabtree,
Here.
Dana Miller. Here. Trace Connor,
Here.
John Kramer. Here. Chris Anson, Eddie Foreman.
Here.
Jeff Griffin.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Consideration and action of consent agenda.
Move to approve. Second.
Roll call, please.
Larry Church,
Yes.
Corey Crabtree,
Yes.
Dana Miller.
Yes.
Trace Connor.
Yes.
John Kramer.
Yes.
Eddie Foreman.
Yes.
Jeff Griffin.
Yes.
Motion passes.
No items removed from the consent agenda and no appearances or petitions from the audience, I would entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign. We will now move on to the regular meeting of the Seminole Municipal Authority. Roll call, please.
Corey Crabtree,
Here.
Eddie Foreman,
Here.
Tim Poplin, Dana Miller,
Here.
Larry Church,
Here.
Chris Anson, John Kramer,
Here.
Trace Connor,
Here.
Jeff Griffin.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Consideration and action of consent agenda.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Corey Crabtree,
Yes.
Eddie Foreman,
Yes.
Dana Miller,
Yes.
Larry Church,
Yes.
John Kramer,
Yes.
Trace Connor,
Yes.
Jeff Griffin.
Yes.
Motion passes.
With no items removed from the consent agenda and no appearances or petitions from the audience, I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign. All right, we'll call to order the regular meeting of the Seminole City Council. Roll call, please.
Tim Poplin, Corey Crabtree,
Here.
Larry Church,
Here.
Trace Connor,
Here.
Chris Anson, Eddie Foreman,
Here.
Dana Miller,
Here.
John Kramer, Jeff Griffin.
Here,
We have a quorum.
please join me in the saying of our pledge of allegiance.
Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for today. We thank you for this town of Seminole. God, I ask that you review this evening and bless our decisions and our discussions. In your name we pray. Amen.
Consideration and action of consent agenda.
So moved. Second.
Roll call, please.
Corey Crabtree,
Yes.
Larry Church,
Yes.
Trace Connor,
Yes.
Eddie Foreman,
Yes.
Dana Miller,
Yes.
John Kramer.
Yes.
Motion passes.
With no items removed from the consent agenda, we'll move on to appointments and elections. Consideration and possible action to approve the mayoral appointment of Elaine Nelson to the Seminole Community and Wellness Facilities Authority to replace the position held by Donna Wallace, whose term expired July 1st, 2020.
Move to approve. Second.
Roll call, please.
Corey Crabtree,
Yes.
Larry Church,
Yes.
Trace Connor,
Yes.
Eddie Foreman,
Yes.
Dana Miller,
Yes.
John Kramer.
Yes.
Motion passes.
With that, we'll move into appearances or petitions from the audience. Our first speaker is Tara Geist. I'd ask that you come to the podium, please.
Hello, can you hear me?
Might have to be closer to it.
Can you hear me now? Okay. Hi, I'm Tara Geist. I'm here representing Boomtown, the Boomtown rebuild. We just wanted to give a brief update about kind of where our progress is at and what's been going on over the last several months. So we've kind of really been researching it since about June. We had our big first meeting with the community in July. Since then, we have met with 4 different companies. which is a lot to take in. The first one being Leathers. They do the community build, which is the build that we currently have is done through them. Let's see, we've kind of the committee has ruled out that we don't really want to do a community build. There's a lot of liability issues. It's not really recommended anymore to do community builds. There used to be a bunch of companies that did that. There's only 2 left in the nation that allow community builds anymore. So that has kind of progressed us on to look at Lee Park and Play. So they're based out of Texas. We have seen a design from them currently. We are waiting for Game Time, which is a company based out of Oklahoma City. And then we also met with ACS, which is a company that's out of Oklahoma City as well. We're waiting for 2 designs to come in. We've met with them and told them what we're looking for. So kind of our top 5 things that we're looking for in this new playground would be rubber floor, or like I don't know how many of you have been to like the Gathering Place, but they have rubber floors. Either rubber floors or turf. We've heard mixed things from each company about how they feel on each one. We would like this park to be an all-inclusive park, meaning that every child is welcome to play, whether they're on the spectrum or wheelchair-bound or just anything. We really don't have any park like this in our area. Shawnee is currently building a new park, but we learned today that it is not going to be an all-inclusive park. So if our park is one that can do this, it'll be a huge attraction for children on anywhere on that spectrum that'll be able to play at our park. We're also looking for metal structure. We're trying to get away from the wooden structure. We've learned that the wooden structure is extremely hard to take care of. The metal structure, a lot of them, 10 years from now, if a slide is tore up, you just unbolt it and you put the new slide in and you bolt it back in. You don't have to take the whole structure down and rebuild, kind of like what we're having to do now. We've also learned it's low maintenance, which is something we're really looking for, is for this new playground to be a low maintenance playground. And we're also looking, playgrounds of today's world are way different price-wise than they were 15, 20 years ago. So playgrounds now are looking anywhere from $500,000 to $700,000. We know that you guys have graciously offered or allotted $150,000. The committee is looking at grants and fundraising opportunities. So we should be, hopefully, once we can lock down like an actual playground company or to present to you or whatever that stuff's going to look like next, we'll be able to start the fundraising process. We do have some donations currently coming in. And I was just going to tell you who our committee consists of. So there's 6 people on the committee. We have Marcy Donahoe, Claudia and Ernie Willis, Tyler Gohagen, Krista Jones, and myself. And then we've had a couple of visitors come in and out to kind of give some input. But that's kind of where we are. We hope to have all of this in. I'd had no idea that taking playground designs could take weeks, but they can take up to 2 weeks to get a full playground design. And we have about 10,000 square feet of playground space. So that actually means it could put us on the mark for what's considered a destination playground, which there's not very many parks in the country that are considered destination playgrounds. So if we are actually able to fulfill this and get the full amount of money, we can have something that will draw in people from all over the country. Some of these playgrounds are advertised everywhere, and people come in and just to play because it has that tag destination. So that's something we're kind of to shoot for. So that's a little bit about what we have, and we hope to have more information for you at the next city council meeting. That's kind of our plan. So we just wanted to let you know where we were at. Thank you.
Thank you. They may have some questions.
Oh, okay.
Does
I
anyone
didn't know
have
we
any
could do questions.
I guess not. Thank
Nope,
you.
sounds good. Thank you.
Our next guest is Jackie Dill.
Sure, if I had to speak before the meeting about the agenda items, if we were just going to kind of throw out there what's going on at the end of the year. The Arts Council is partnered with the Downtown District. The Arts Council is partnered with the Downtown District, and we have the trunk or treat coming up on October 31st. That's going to be from 3:30 to 7 o'clock, and it's half trunk or treat, half mini carnival. We're looking for sponsors for that, for candy and costume prizes and other games and things that we were trying to build for the event. We are also looking for volunteers, so if you guys know anyone who wants to help us with that, please send them our way. In addition to that, on the second Saturday of November, we're going to honor our veterans with a Veterans Day parade. We're looking for float entries. And following the parade, there's going to be a free luncheon in Veterans Park. And then the second Saturday of December, we are going to have the annual Chocolate Festival, followed by the Christmas and Holiday Parade. And it's going to be a big fundraiser for the Arts Council. And as you all know, that we've been working really hard to establish more public art. So all of our fundraising is just going toward that. So if anybody has any questions about any of the events or anything, just let me know.
Thank you. With that, we'll move on to approvals and acceptances. And under bids, item 1, consideration and possible action to approve the state bid price of $33,702 for a 2022 F-150 Ford pickup from Bill Knight Ford in Tulsa, Oklahoma. An emergency purchase to replace a 2006 Chevy pickup with 216,000 miles in the water department that has become inoperable. The proposed purchase is not currently budgeted and would be funded from General Fund Special Projects Fund 92. I have a question. So we had a presentation a couple months ago about leasing potentially vehicles, and I'm curious how this, we're looking to buy versus lease, and we haven't had any updates, so could you kind of share with us why we're going this route?
Sure. So one of the main things that we were looking at through Enterprise was access to vehicles well in advance of what we could get ourselves. What we found immediately after we talked to them is that, for example, they offered us a Dodge in place of this. We've not had good experience with that, so we're staying with Ford or Chevrolet on our pickups. So we found this one. We felt like this was a good buy. We've not discounted what the long-term plan with Enterprise, but if they're not going to access vehicles quicker, that's going to be an issue for us. So we're still studying the whole Enterprise leasing system. I think it's probably going to end up being financially better for us in the long run. However, in cases like this where the vehicles begin to fail prior to their expected use of life, we've got to have immediate response. And if they can't get that to us, we've got to go do it on our own, and that's what we're doing in this case.
Okay. Any other questions?
So what was the hold? Like, how long was it going to be before we could get a vehicle? Or were they just not responding, or was it a wait?
I don't recall them giving us an exact date. They just said it's going to be a while. The one that they had ready to go was a Dodge Hamilton, as I recall. So I don't remember them giving us a, hey, this will take you 3 months and 2 days type answer.
And that's how quickly we needed it, was really quickly.
It's very, very difficult. Right now, we're shuffling vehicles around to make up for this, so we've got to get one in play pretty quick.
Move to approve.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Corey Crabtree,
Yes.
Larry Church,
Yes.
Trace Connor,
Yes.
Eddie Foreman,
Yes.
Dana Miller,
Yes.
John Kramer.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Item 2, consideration and possible action to approve the purchase of a used 2022 F-150 Ford pickup from Bill Knight Ford in Tulsa, Oklahoma at a cost of $30,907, a budgeted capital improvement project item for the Code Enforcement Department.
Move to approve.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Corey Crabtree,
Yes.
Larry Church,
Yes.
Trace Connor,
Yes.
Eddie Foreman,
Yes.
Dana Miller,
Yes.
John Kramer.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Under Resolutions, Item 3, consideration and possible action to approve Resolution Number 2022-11, a resolution setting the filing period and election dates for city officers whose terms become effective for a 2-year period beginning in 2023. I believe those dates were December 5th through the 7th.
5th through the 7th, election time.
Is
This time
to
around.
register
File.
Oh, it's
if you're
registered.
going to run.
Move to approve. Second.
Roll call, please.
Corey Crabtree,
Yes.
Larry Church,
Yes.
Trace Connor,
Yes.
Eddie Foreman,
Yes.
Dana Miller,
Yes.
John Kramer.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Under current business, item 4, consideration and possible action to approve closing CDBG grant number CI-000070 for replacing manholes and sewer pipe under DEQ notice of violation, which has been completed. Do we need discussion on it?
We're in good shape. You may recall that we had some bypasses over on Harbor Street, very close to the cemetery. We had several complaints about that. The city council was gracious enough to budget the money to get that fixed, and we were able to leverage that with the CDBG grant, which is a pass-through for Community Development Block Grant 2, from the federal government to the Oklahoma Department of Commerce. So, to date, we've spent probably over $750,000 in trying to get that upgraded. We had a little bit of panic initially after it was installed. We had another bypass, and we found out that the construction crew had left bricks in the line. So once we got those out, it's been smooth sailing ever since. So it's in good shape. We're really pleased to have that fixed.
Now we just need rain to test it.
Yeah, rain will be a good test.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So we have that on the table.
Move to approve.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Corey Crabtree,
Yes.
Larry Church,
Yes.
Trace Connor,
Yes.
Eddie Foreman,
Yes.
Dana Miller,
Yes.
John Kramer.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Item 5, consideration and possible action to approve the lease agreement with the Lions Club for Magnolia Park for the annual Snowman Wonderland Festival.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Corey Crabtree,
Yes.
Larry Church,
Yes.
Trace Connor,
Yes.
Eddie Foreman,
Yes.
Dana Miller,
Yes.
John Kramer.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Item 6, consideration and possible action to approve the contract agreement with L.E. Marshall Consulting, LLC, for services related to the city's hazard mitigation plan at a cost not to exceed $15,551, with 75% of the cost funded through a grant from Oklahoma Emergency Management. And as noted, this has to be redone every 5 years.
Move to approve.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Corey Crabtree,
Yes.
Larry Church,
Yes.
Trace Connor,
Yes.
Eddie Foreman,
Yes.
Dana Miller,
Yes.
John Kramer.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Item 7, consideration and possible action to approve a date and time for a trick or treat night to coincide with Halloween within the city of Seminole.
Only if it's on a Thursday.
No. Too
This Tim's not here.
Well, typically, we've had it on the 31st. I think unless it was maybe on a Sunday, but that's typically when we have held it.
I say we leave it on the 31st. We've got stuff planned downtown. I don't think
Yeah.
it's,
Yeah, that's what it's.
I
Is
say
that a
we leave it
motion?
alone.
Is that a motion?
That's a motion. Let's do it on the 31st.
Second.
All right, roll call, please.
Corey Crabtree,
Yes.
Larry Church,
Yes.
Trace Connor,
Yes.
Eddie Foreman,
Yes.
Dana Miller,
Wait a
Yes.
minute. We need times.
You vote on the day, but
Ooh.
you can't vote on the time.
Right.
okay.
Okay.
John Kramer.
Day and time.
Sorry.
Okay.
All right, so now we need times.
What's it normally, 6 to 8? I don't know.
Like 5 to 9? 5 to,
I think it's 5 to 9.
Well, normally
time.
people aren't home if they're working at 5 o'clock.
Oh, but, I'm not.
Okay, well, everybody can go to Larry's house
Yeah.
first.
Go come my place.
You want to give that address? So we-
501 North Highland, and you can get an advance treat tonight. That's some chocolate too.
So we're looking
I don't
for
know what it is. I don't know what time it usually is.
6 to 9?
I haven't trick or treated in a long time, so.
Last year it was 6 to 9, just.
Well,
as your-
okay.
Thanks, Jay. Let's do 6 to 9. How's that?
I like 6 to 9.
Go to downtown before 6. Then you can go trick or treat. How's that?
I like it.
All right.
How about a motion from somebody?
A motion trick or treat be on the 31st from 6 to 9.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Corey Crabtree,
Yes.
Larry Church,
Yes.
Trace Connor.
Yes.
Eddie Foreman,
Yes.
Dana Miller,
Yes.
John Kramer.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Item 8, consideration and possible action to approve a Main Street closure from Pink Laundry to Don Ciro's for the Trunk or Treat and Halloween Carnival Festival from 2:30 to 5:30 p.m. on Monday, October 31st, and on Main from Seminole to Oak Streets until 8:30 p.m. for food trucks associated with the festival.
Move to approve.
Second.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Corey Crabtree,
Yes.
Larry Church,
Yes.
Trace Connor,
Yes.
Eddie Foreman,
Yes.
Dana Miller,
Yes.
John Kramer.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Item 9, consideration and possible action to approve a Main Street closure from Pink Laundry to Don Ciro's for the Veterans Day Parade from 10:30 a.m. to noon on Saturday, November 12th.
Move to approve.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Corey Crabtree,
Yes.
Larry Church,
Yes.
Trace Connor,
Yes.
Eddie Foreman,
Yes.
Dana Miller,
Yes.
John Kramer.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Item 10, consideration and possible action to approve a Main Street closure from Pink Laundry to Don Ciro's for the holiday parade from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Saturday, December 10th.
Move its approval.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Corey Crabtree,
Yes.
Larry Church,
Yes.
Trace Connor,
Yes.
Eddie Foreman,
Yes.
Dana Miller,
Yes.
John Kramer.
Yes.
Motion passes.
We'll move on to remarks and inquiries of mayor and council members. First, I would like to remind everyone that as proclaimed last year, the second Monday in October is officially recognized as Indigenous Peoples' Day in Seminole. I'm wearing my shirt that I was given during Seminole Nation Days by our Councilwoman Miller, so thank you for that. I'm glad we were able to do that. I would just say, if you haven't been out to Seminole Nation Days, it's fun. There's a lot of activity. You get to try some food that maybe you haven't eaten before, although they were kind of out of some of it that I was looking forward to. But next year when it rolls around, I would encourage you to go. On to another topic. After having discussions with our city manager, I think it would be a good idea to have some workshops scheduled for the council members to discuss ways of funding the Family Entertainment Center. I think we want to kind of get ahead on this, so maybe we have a plan going forward. And so, Steve, if you or your staff would get those scheduled, I think we need to be working on that. And I want to remind everyone that we call it a workshop, and the reason we call it a workshop is there will not be enough members in one meeting to have a quorum. So, obviously you can't vote. So that's an important aspect of being able to have those workshops. It's no different than when we do our budgeting workshops. I want to thank the city employees that keep our water and sewer flowing. I know it's been a few weeks back, but they had a break, and I mean, just a few minutes later, it seemed like they had a second break, so they were out on it. Again, they do the jobs that most of us wouldn't want to do, and I really do appreciate it, and I think everyone that can go in and get a drink and flush your toilet appreciates it as well. So thank you to them. And the long hours and odd hours that they put in. I want to just mention I enjoyed watching the Seminole State softball girls take on OU. I know it didn't end up the way that Seminole State had wished, but I imagine it was some good experience, and they had a lot of fun. So I wanted to mention that because I enjoyed watching it. And even though I like OU, I was rooting for our Seminole State to hopefully win. And then lastly, I'd like to congratulate our staff on another successful financial audit that they finished up. I know there's a lot of work that goes into that beforehand, a lot during the time, and from my understanding, there was no findings at all, so that's congratulations to all the hard work that it takes to not just do it during this time, but on a daily basis. You know, you have to stick to the rules, and otherwise, you know, things slip by, and that's when findings occur. So congratulations on that. And with that, I'll move on to Ward 1, Larry Church.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to express my appreciation to our police department. I had occasion to contact them about a break-in. They were right there. Nice, polite, immediate response. Got to take care of it. And I'm going to let it rest with that. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Ward 1, Dana Miller.
Welcome everyone to Ward 1. Mayor, I want to thank you, actually I want to say Mado, so we say thank you, Mado, for one, recognizing that yesterday was Indigenous Peoples Day for the city of Seminole. I know there are a couple activities going on in town, and so it was really nice to be able to have that proclamation that the city and our leadership support the tribal citizens and leadership in our city. It's a great partnership. I see it getting stronger every day. And even with, you know, just the smallest of gestures, I really appreciate, you know, you coming in and participating in the parade there at the Miccosukee Mission. And next time we will save you some sofkie and fry bread. But I definitely appreciate that. And, you know, when I couldn't make it to one of the events yesterday, but I had a few people text me and ask if I was coming and if I was bringing the mayor with me.
Okay.
So I think that's a first, and I think that it's noticed and it's appreciated. So Mado.
Thank you.
Let's see. This past month, we also had, or I actually hosted a voter registration event actually here at the Wellness Center. So I just want to say thank you to the Wellness Center for, one, just having they take such great care of this facility, and, you know, it's available for those community events. So I just want to say thank you to the staff here, to the leadership here at the Wellness Center. It was a successful event, and again, Mayor attended, and Steve was there also. So, and I think we got Steve's son registered to vote, and my son registered to vote, so it was a good day. For constituent issues, I just have one, Steve, and I was looking for the email, and I don't know when I sent, I think it was last week, about this time last week, a constituent issue having to deal with tall weeds on Houston Street, but I think that's, I don't know. I'll look up the email. I remember hitting send, but no telling who I sent it to at this point. I'll check. I think that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Ward 2, John Kramer. Okay. Ward 2, Eddie Foreman.
Well, I just want to say how nice it is to live in a community that has people from the community volunteering to take on projects like Boomtown and the Art Council. So I'm appreciative of that. That's it.
Okay. I couldn't tell. You had a mask on. I couldn't. Ward 3, Corey Crabtree.
Yeah, I'll say again for Boomtown as well, I appreciate that. My kids spent many hours at Boomtown. And not that I want to advertise this to everybody, but those red chairs are really comfortable to swing in. So if you can make some for adults, that'd be great. Just saying. But thanks for your hard work on that, because that's a lot of work, I know. And secondly, on the carnival that's happening downtown, apparently yours truly got voted to be in the dunk tank. So if anybody wants to come throw a ball, have at it. Sure, it'll be cold and I'll be freezing, but have at it. That's all I got.
All right, thank you. And Ward 4, Trace Connor.
I have nothing.
All right, thank you. All right, with that, we have our city manager.
Okay, you ready? Not yet? Testing, 1, 2, 3, testing. No hot. Okay. Is that any better?
Nope. That one's not off.
There you go. Try that. Yeah.
Testing, 1, 2, 3, testing, 1, 2, 3.
Switch it forward.
I got it. It's open. Hello? There we go. All right, here we go. All right. I think probably the best thing to do at this point is open the discussion a little bit with the University of Texas. I just want to say that I appreciate those folks. They have invited my daughter to interview for medical school. Moving on. I want to, there's several dates. Jackie covered a lot of them. I'll give you a few more. There's so much going on in Seminole. It's just amazing what's happening. November the 4th, we're going to be hosting a health screening project here. It'll be held in the parking lot up on, in the Wellness Center. That's going to be a great venue, and I hope everybody gets out and takes advantage of it. It's all free. There'll be, I think, the food truck or the community markets will be here to hand out food. So we're expecting quite a crowd. Looking forward to it. October 29th, the Wellness Center will be hosting a pumpkin palooza event at 5 p.m. October the 20th, everybody needs to be at this one, is the Seminole State will be cutting the ribbon for their new complex out there for soccer and baseball. That's, I haven't seen a time on that. Does anybody? 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock on the 20th will be the ribbon cutting. And if you haven't been out there to see one of the soccer games, it's just phenomenal. I mean, they're free, or they have been free to this point to get into, and right now the Seminole State Trojans are ranked number 3 in the nation, and it is high quality soccer, or football as they prefer to call it. Let's see, airport ribbon cutting. Give me a date on that, Sharon. I didn't write it down. October 28th, the airport, you probably recall that we built new hangars out there. It was a big project. Man, a lot of concrete. That'll be October the 28th, and we're still waiting on a time. So as soon as I get the time, I'll send that out, and we'll notify the newspapers. So real quick, I want to give you the latest statistics that I have on the tornado relief. So we started out with 22,692 damaged structures. So far, we've had 114 business loans approved through SBA. And we've got 563 registrations for people that did not have insurance that are looking for help. The Catholic Charities Group is kind of heading up the VOAD, which stands for Volunteer Organizations Active in Disaster. So that would include the Red Cross, Salvation Army, all the largest that you expect to be involved in a disaster. The Catholic Charities is going to help us with case management. So we've got it covered. It's fantastic. I'll be honest, and I think all of we got several in the crowd that were in that first meeting. I think we were all very frustrated with how slow it was coming together. But come to find out, these people have been there before. whether it's the Red Cross or Catholic Charities or Salvation Army, they knew exactly where we were and that we weren't ready. And now they are completely active. They're ready to do case management. Most of the insurance companies have been contacted and are in play. Not all of the customers are happy with the insurance company, but at least that is happening. So we've kind of been able to get through all of that, and now we recognize who actually needs the most help. So we've got case management in play. That is great news. So far, through all the agencies, $1,146,000 in aid have been provided, and that does not include person-to-person, citizen-to-citizen aid. That's strictly from the agencies. So what an opportunity for us to show what we're made of. It was good stuff. I want to give a shout out to Jay and all the financial staff. That clean audit is a big deal. And to have zero findings and basically spotless audit is uncommon, and I think it surprised the auditors a little bit to have that kind of audit early in their session. So they were really happy. No, we expect perfection from Jay. You're right. Absolutely. Thank you for the invitation to the Get Out the Vote. That was really a neat event, and I'm super appreciative of the fry bread that I was able to receive that day. That was amazing. So the time for the limb burning, we're finished with that, right, Bryant? Has it been extended again on the limb burning?
The only extension that we have is when the burn ban is lifted, is the burn will stay down.
Okay, so we're no longer receiving limbs behind the animal shelter. Our crew, Bravo, we rented some grapples, and we spent about a week and a half getting all the remainder that we could reach from the street. As you will remember, we're not allowed to get on private property. So anything that we could reach from the street, we got, and it looks a ton better. And those guys rallied, and I mean, they knocked it out in about a week and a half. How many loads, Bryant? 400. I don't know what the yardage would be on 400 loads of a 10-ton truck, but it's a bunch. And I'm really appreciative to have a staff that support each other, and they do a fantastic job. That's all I have.
All right, thank you. City Attorney, Brad. Okay. All right. Next item is executive session. Consideration and possible action to enter into executive session under Oklahoma Statute 25, Section 307.b.2, discussing negotiations concerning employees and representatives of employee groups, Neshoba Simmons, and the International Association of Firefighters, Local 2581 Collective Bargaining Agreement. We need a motion to go into executive session. All those in favor?